Hi Gemini, welcome to your love reading for November 2018. This is Elizabeth from channeledguidance.com. Okay, so I've already shuffled the decks for you. Let's go ahead and begin. This is for confirmation, but first let's get you 9 cards from this deck. This is a love reading for the sign of Gemini for November 2018. The first card that you have, Gemini, is the 8 of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for November. Death. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for November. Knight of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for November. 9 of Coins. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for November. Temperance. Love reading for the sign of Gemini, the Chariot. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for November 2018. Queen of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for November. The Devil. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for November. The King of Cups. What's the most important message that Gemini needs to hear about their love life for November 2018? You have the 6 of Coins. So the 6 of Coins does represent receiving. It is time for you to get what you deserve. It is time for you to receive the relationship you've been hoping for. This is a positive card of receiving. So we'll come back to this to see how it ties in with all of this. Let's go ahead and look at the first 3 cards. But first, if you would like to get a private reading with me, Gemini, just go to my website, which is channeledguidance.com. Okay, so let's take a look to see what you have going on in this spread. You do start with the 8 of Wands, so let's take a look at that. You have the 8 of Wands, Death, and the King of Wands. So you've got basically a major arcana here surrounded by the 8 of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So Death does represent transformations. This is something huge. This is something that changes your life forever, something significant. You know, and I see that you're determined to make something happen. The Knight of Wands, this Knight of Wands only comes up when there is a desire to achieve a goal. So in this case, we're talking about your love life. So it could be that you're determined to get married, or you're determined to finally have, you know, a committed relationship with someone. I see you really trying. I mean, the Knight of Wands does mean that there will be a lot of self-confidence on your part. There will be a lot of action. You will be determined to see a change in your love life, to see a change in your relationship. And of course, you start with the 8 of Wands, which means that there can be a very kind of unexpected either communication, a message from someone that you have been waiting to hear from. But I mean, it feels more strongly like there's finally a change that you have been waiting for. The 8 of Wands, this is a very unexpected, exciting development. And again, with Death here, this is something that changes everything. It could be that someone who had not been ready for a committed relationship, maybe someone who had not been ready for marriage, is finally ready with the Death card. The Death card represents something, again, that changes your life forever, a huge transformation in your love life. And I feel like this is something that you have been waiting for with the 8 of Wands. You've been waiting for a long time. Of course, the main energy was telling you that it's finally your time to get what you deserve. You've been waiting and you're finally receiving. And I feel like you're looking forward to this with the Knight of Wands. I feel like you're not just waiting, but the Knight of Wands shows that you're very self-confident and you're determined to get what you want. You're determined to have this change in your love life, this huge transformation. Let's look at the second row. You have the 9 of Coins, Temperance, and the Chariot. So you have 2 major arcanas, Temperance and the Chariot. So, I mean, the Chariot, this does represent, you know, again, a movement. This is big changes in your love life. Huge changes, like getting married, getting engaged, maybe even being in a very committed relationship, a live-in relationship. Of course, the Chariot is a victory card, but it's only a victory card because of your determination, which it is lined up with that energy, the Knight of Wands. I just feel like, you know, if you want to see a huge change in your love life, Gemini, of like a huge, like, night and day change, you're going to really have to hang in there, and you're going to have to really go after what you want. You're going to have to be really self-confident. not just in your love life, I mean overall, because I mean you also have the Knight of Coins. When this card comes up in the love reading, to me, this shows that you can only get, you know, what you deserve in your love life, which is here, if you're just overall feeling very positive about your actions and everything you've accomplished. And the Knight of Coins, this is about you feeling very successful in your life and feeling really positive about the choices, the decisions that you've made. It could be that that's something that has to be worked out before things finally fall into place in your love life. Because the Chariot is telling me, I mean, seeing the Chariot and the Death card in the same spread, I mean, this is telling me that there can be a huge change in your situation, whatever that is. I mean, whether you're single, hoping to meet somebody new, whether you're hoping your partner will commit to a higher level of commitment, maybe you want to get married or you want to heal a marriage. There can be, you know, a huge change with the Chariot being here and the Death card, a huge transformation. But this also has something to do with where you are, how you're feeling about yourself. Where are you? Are you feeling pretty self-confident? The Knight of Wands tells me that most of you are. You have to be feeling really positive about where you are as a human being. Where are you? Do you feel good about where you are in your life? Are you feeling really positive? Do you feel like you've done well? Again, Temperance is telling you that you may have to be patient. I mean, I feel like there's almost like a sense of impatience in this reading. Like you really want to see a change in a relationship with someone. You really want something to change. Temperance is saying, you know, be patient. It's also a message to don't push too hard. Don't rock the boat. It could be that you just have to be patient for someone to, you know, to be ready for some of these changes. Temperance also means that you may have to be compassionate with somebody. Let's look at this last row down here. You've got a fire sign, which would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius with a Devil, and then a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So for some of you, there can be two people in the picture, again, a fire sign and a water sign, but there's something unhealthy about one of these relationships, the Devil, which does represent something negative. There could be a lot of negativities. A relationship with one of these people could be very unhealthy, negative thoughts, pessimism, there could be two people who are getting your attention right now. And remember that it is time for you to be happy. It's time for you to receive. So ask yourself, which one of these people do you feel is not the right person for you? Of course, I mean, you are an air sign, but if you have a moon or rising in either a fire sign or a water sign, then one of these could be you. And it could be that there's a relationship in your life where maybe something has become too negative. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything horrible. The Devil can just be that there's a lot of negative thoughts. It could be that you're becoming a little too pessimistic about a relationship, because I see that you're determined to see change in your love life with the Knight of Wands being here. And the Chariot. This does represent, big changes, because you've been determined and you've really been persistent when it comes to your love life. There can be a huge transformation, but at the same time, you're being told, don't rock the boat. Don't push things too much. And also, you kind of have to meet love halfway. You have to be in a good place within yourself, which now that I said that, it could be that's why the Devil is here. There could be something unhealthy around you. If it's not an unhealthy relationship, if you feel like, the relationship that you have with someone is beautiful and you feel like everything, is there, you just maybe want a higher level of commitment, there could be too much focus on something else, with the Devil being here. Maybe too much focus on the material. The Devil just represents something unhealthy around you. Let me get a few more cards, see what the rest of the message is. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for November 2018? You have the Five of Coins. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for November? The Five of Swords. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for November? The Three of Swords. See, I told you there was something there. There was something there when I saw the Devil here. The Devil only comes up when there's something, either like a very unhealthy relationship, very negative thoughts, dark thoughts, negative energy. And for some of you, this is associated with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And now you get these three cards, which are all difficult. I mean, the fives are always challenging, and I pulled one right after the other. The Five of Coins, the Five of Swords. Let's look at them individually. So you have the Five of Coins. I mean, the Five of Coins, this is pretty sad energy. And if you look at the card, I think this is one of the most like accurate descriptions of what this card represents. If you look at the woman here holding up her cup, it's like she's miserable. She's saying, give me something. Give me anything. I have nothing. And this card literally means like it could be that someone is feeling they have nothing to offer you. They have nothing to give. It's a very lonely energy. I'm trying to see, what this means with the Five of Swords. For some of you, I mean, there could be a relationship that just has to be left behind if you want to be happy. And again, you have these two court cards down here. I mean, the water sign or the fire sign. One of them has to go. There's, negative energy between them. And you're being told that, there's a sense of loneliness, this is not really emotionally connecting with anyone. Of course, this can be your partner. The Five of Swords can represent sabotage, self-sabotage, or your partner could be resisting maybe a relationship with you. Your partner could be very alienated emotionally from you, causing a lot of heartache, the Three of Swords. Of course, the Three of Swords is also the breakup card or the divorce card. It could be that maybe there's been a separation from someone that you love. Because, there's been an emotional disconnect. Someone has maybe shut you out emotionally. The Five of Coins does represent just someone just completely just cutting you out of their lives. This could have been, a very unwise decision from your partner, the Five of Swords. This is just, a decision that they will regret. That maybe eventually, maybe this led to a breakup. But again, the Five of Swords means that there will be, regrets as far as the decision that they made. It could be that they made this decision when they were in a very kind of difficult place emotionally, where they were really just feeling like they connected with nobody. This is emotionally isolated. Of course, you do have these positive messages of change. Maybe that's why you're having to be patient with somebody, a Temperance card. Don't rock the boat too much, because I feel like either it's you. I mean, it's hard to tell in a general reading, but I just feel like there's something very difficult here. There's something very difficult, something very painful going on with the sign of Gemini. And I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's your partner. It just seems like for some of you, there could have been a breakup. There could have been a breakup. It could have been that somebody just completely just shut you out, or it could just be that you feel that you connect with nobody. You're finding it hard to connect with anyone, to open up to anyone, to relate to anybody. And then the Five of Swords, unwise decisions. I feel like you also don't want to pass up a relationship. If there is an opportunity for a relationship in the month of November, I just get the feeling that if you pass up this relationship, this is something that you will regret, because November is supposed to be a time when you're getting what you deserve. You're supposed to be receiving the love and the affection that you deserve. You also have Death saying there can be a huge transformation in your love life if you allow it. I feel like if you pass on a chance for an opportunity, sorry, let me rephrase that. If you pass on a relationship, you will, I feel like there could be regrets. And again, I say that because there's two people here, a fire sign and a water sign. If you pass on an opportunity, again, that could be why the Devil is here. I just feel like there's something really complicated going on with the sign of Gemini. Be careful when it comes to making decisions or kind of passing on an opportunity for a relationship, because this is either a breakup, but can also just be heartache. Okay, let's see what the confirmation deck wants to tell you. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for November? Three of Wands. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for November? Seven of Cups. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for November? The Moon. Interesting. What's the most important thing that Gemini needs to hear about their love life for November 2018? The Sun. Even though you do have some very challenging cards here, I mean, the Sun, there can be a positive outcome. The Sun represents happiness and positive energy. Yes, you do have negative energy here. I mean, you've got the Sun, you've also got the Devil. It's your choice which one you're going to be, which one you're going to accept. Try not to be too pessimistic about your love life. You have the Sun telling you that this is a time where you can really have a positive outcome. Whether you're hoping to meet somebody new, or heal an existing relationship or reconnect with somebody, you can have the outcome that you want. You just have to meet things halfway, which is why you have this card right here. You have to feel good about the decisions that you're making and where you are in order for things to work out. Otherwise, that's why this card is here, the Devil. Okay, so let's look at these 3 cards and see what they represent for you. You've got the 3 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, and the Moon. So the 3 of Wands, this is, a card of, this is future energy. This is feeling like there could be a better opportunity in the future. This is choosing to wait. I feel like this is what you should not do. Remember, this is what I kept saying over and over. I feel like for some of you, like you will have a chance for a relationship in November. And for some of you, you may choose to pass. I just keep getting that you may choose to pass. You may even choose someone else. You could regret that with the 5 of Swords being here. With the 3 of Wands, you could feel like, there's a better opportunity for me. But you have a strong message here of confusion. I mean, the 7 of Cups represents lack of clarity and confusion. The Moon is a major arcana that represents confusion, and they're right next to each other. It just seems like there's something very confusing with the sign of Gemini. Honestly, I'm getting confused just doing this reading. The 3 of Wands is, again, it's just like you're saying, maybe there's a better chance with someone else in the future. I'll be better off with so-and-so. Maybe, you may choose to pass on a relationship because you're feeling like there'll be someone better eventually. You're confused. You're not seeing things clearly. Also, if you're choosing to end a relationship, I feel like I should bring this up because there are 2 people in this reading, a water sign and a fire sign. If you're choosing someone to be in a relationship and you're letting somebody else go, make sure that you do this when you're really thinking clearly, because I see a lack of clarity here with the 7 of Cups. This is being really emotional, really confused, and that's not the energy you want to make a decision in. And the Moon, with the Moon, this can be self-deceit. This can also be that you're not seeing things clearly. And again, this has to do with you, like, focusing on the future, like choosing a better, waiting for a better chance when it comes to love. There's something that you're not seeing, something that you're not understanding. There's a sense of confusion here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to focus just on X's using this spread right here. Sorry, this deck. And this spread is meant to just focus on those that are hoping to reconnect with somebody who's no longer in your life. It can be someone where you just broke up a few days ago, a few weeks ago, a few years ago, just someone who's no longer in your life. It can also just be someone that maybe you were not in a relationship. Maybe it was nothing committed. Maybe you were dating. Maybe you just want to see if you're going to hear from them again. Let's go ahead and focus on that energy. Show me the energies around Gemini and their ex. What do they most need to know? Gemini and their ex. Show me the energies around Gemini and their ex. Gemini and their ex. Show me the energies around Gemini and their ex for November 2018. Gemini and their ex for November 2018. Gemini and their ex, November 2018. Gemini and their ex, November 2018. Gemini and their ex, November 2018. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what comes up for you. Again, just focusing on exes. Show us the energies around Gemini and their ex for November. You have the 5 of Pentacles. Gemini and their ex, November 2018. The World. Gemini and their ex, November 2018. The 2 of Pentacles. Gemini and their ex, November 2018. The 8 of Cups. Gemini and their ex, November 2018. 10 of Cups. Gemini and their ex, November 2018. 10 of Pentacles. Okay. So this is interesting. I mean, we're talking about somebody who's no longer in your life, where the relationship is over, but you still have relationship energy right here. I mean, the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, These are cards of commitment, relationship, and even marriage. You know, what I see here, I usually kind of bring out the other cards from the 9-card spread because some of them have repeated themselves, but I want to just focus on these 6 cards before I bring up anything else from the 9-card spread. You have the 5 of Pentacles. I mean, when it comes to you and your ex, I mean, I feel like you may not, you guys may not be understanding each other. I mean, the 5 of Pentacles, again, this is someone feeling very emotionally isolated, feeling very misunderstood, very lonely, very left out. Of course, if your ex ended things and never really gave you an explanation, there's been no closure, then that's you. You know, and you do have the World there, which does represent an ending. So what you've got here is you've got an ending with the World, and then you've got the goodbye card. It's almost like, you know, your breakup is popping up here with, you know, kind of instability around it. Like maybe there was no closure. You've got the 2 of Pentacles, which this is scattered energy. This is a lot of things up in the air. Maybe a choice to be made. I just feel like this is your breakup, the World and the 8 of Cups. Again, maybe there needs to be forgiveness. Maybe there's something that you really need to communicate. Somebody feels like they completely were just kind of left out in the cold with the 5 of Pentacles. And that's the first card I pulled for you. Someone just feels like, you know, they were just erased. You know, like they were just erased from your life. Or maybe it's you feeling that way. Again, the World is saying that there's maybe a chance for closure, but maybe there's a choice that has to be made with the 2 of Pentacles. And it's just, things are very unstable with the 2 of Pentacles. This just shows that maybe you're in a place, or they're in a place where things need to settle down. That's probably why you had the Temperance card telling you to be patient. You do have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles showing that there is still the possibility of a relationship. But, I mean, this is also here for a reason. It could be that the reasons for leaving, whether you left or they left, maybe that's something that still needs to be healed or discussed. Because, I mean, it's lined up with the 5 of Pentacles. Again, that energy of just being completely, like, shut out emotionally. And with the World, I mean, I feel like this represents that there has to be closure first before there can be healing. There has to be closure. Things are very unstable when it comes to your ex with the 2 of Pentacles being there. Nothing's for sure. This is just scattered energy. But again, if you're kind of wondering, you know, does my ex do they still care? Is there a chance? Yes. I mean, you've got 2 marriage cards lined up here. But there's also sad energy, just feeling really lonely. Feeling really shut out, with maybe needing an explanation about why things ended. Or maybe they need to explain to you. So just kind of looking at the other cards that I pulled for you, because I do have them here. I mean, this could explain why you had this. Confusion, the Moon and the 7 of Cups. Maybe there's confusion about your breakup. Maybe things were not very clear. Even if maybe there was an explanation. I just feel like something does not feel right here about your ex. And this is about how things ended. Something does not feel right. Again, you may not understand everything that happened with the Moon being here. This is only knowing half the story, half the truth. And the 7 of Cups, someone feeling really lost, really emotional, which again, that is the exact energy of the 5 of Pentacles, being emotionally isolated. Keep in mind that you did have the Sun telling you there's a lot of positive energy around you. Even, I mean, this still applies when it comes to your ex. It is time for you to receive, with the 6 of Pentacles being here. I just feel like there's something that maybe needs to be said. Something that needs to be explained. Something is not clear about how things ended. There is just kind of, there's pain here. That was the very first card that I pulled for you, the 5 of Pentacles. Maybe that explains why you had the Devil. Maybe there was an unhealthy relationship when you were together. Maybe that needs to be discussed. Maybe there was another person, because you did have 2 people in the 9-card spread. You had a water sign and a fire sign. Maybe there's an explanation. Maybe there was cheating involved. Hard to say in a general reading. I mean, you just had some very difficult cards towards the end. Let's see, I'm trying to find them here. You had some very difficult cards where you had Yeah, I mean, here they are. Actually, there's a repeat card right here. The 5 of Coins is actually the 5 of Pentacles. They just call it coins in the stack. So there's a sense of not really connecting with anybody. Someone is really suffering. Again, this can be you because maybe you need an explanation. I feel like if the relationship ended because there was no explanation and you just feel really kind of shut out emotionally, I feel like you will be hearing that explanation. I mean, here's the breakup. And perhaps a very unwise decision that was made. Maybe somebody jumped the gun and made a decision without thinking. That would explain, you know, why there's still instability here, why there needs to be closure. So it could be that you're finally hearing an explanation of what happened. But again, I mean, this is a spread for exes, people who are no longer together, and you still have relationship energy here. It's just that you need to discuss why things ended the way that they did, or you need to discuss, you know, why somebody left. And somebody really needs to explain how they're feeling. Again, this is a repeat card. Somebody just feels really emotionally isolated. They just feel like they're not really connecting, or they feel really lonely. Things are up in the air with your ex, but I just feel like there's going to be a chance for closure. This also, you know, this is a chance for an ending and a new beginning. So, I mean, I feel like there's still hope. But really, I feel like there has to be a lot of communication, a lot of explanations. I feel like something has not been resolved. Okay, Gemini, this has been your love reading for November 2018. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.